So, this is a story about a sentient ship that I didn't build. I just tweaked it a lot. I've always known I tweaked it a lot. It beggared tweaking. It was lonely and lost, and alone, crying, lost in the woods of the asteroid belt, actually, on the fringe. And I was like, ooh, what is this? It is a big, shiny bubble. And so I took it and towed it over to the outskirts. If I remember right, I parked it outside of Mars.
Yes, she did.
And I have taken a lot of people remote viewing to see this ship, so I know that this ship, the existence of this ship is confirmed. And I would, when I go to work, I was in in periods where I got to do stuff by myself, or maybe I snuck off, who knows. And I would find things, shiny things, like bits of rock or alien ships that had been hidden inside caves and asteroids for centuries that people had forgotten about that I somehow remembered, or old pirate caches. I remember I took you to the old pirate caches that time. I'm not drawing. I need to draw. Let me catch up. I can't see the shape very well, so I can't draw her. That's stupid. Okay. Asteroid. These pathetic wiggly circles are asteroids.
That's better than what I can do.
Wait, we'll have a sun. Actually, I guess it would be smaller. You're right. It would be small sun because it's far away. Well, we can't really see planets in the asteroid belt. I'm crazy.
Yeah,
it's all asteroid belt.
Yeah, you're trying to see the light through the forest or something like
I can't help it. Asteroid. And so yeah, there would be like the mother of asteroids is over here. The mother of asteroids. There's a cave. And the cave is somebody's ship. Hidden. I'm hidden. I don't know why nobody knows where that. Over here's another. This is actually a mother of an asteroid, and then another parrot cage, and then so this is the ship. She's actually like that. I remember that much. I remember that she's like that. She's more cylinder, which probably suggests she's of reptilian make.
Yeah, you're saying it was a battle class.
Yeah, she's a battle class cruiser. She's a battle class cruiser because somebody, I don't know who she was, put guns on her, and they got from battle class cruisers. Because she was really like a royalty class carrier ship thing. So, here's the asteroid belt, right? This is the asteroid belt. I hate that. Asteroid belt, okay. Asteroids. Let's make this bigger. Asteroids. These are all asteroids because I am a lazy artist and I'm having to draw in a hurry because I talk too fast. And so I don't know, let me see. She was actually in line. The planets were a bit more in line, so I remember that much. So here was the sun, right?
Right.
And we'll give Mercury the color red. Oop, that's a bit bigger than I wanted. And that's just a lot bigger than I wanted.
Mercury gained weight.
And then, there's this one. And then there's us. All right. And these are not to scale.
Yeah.
And then well, you can't see that. Okay. And then Mars. Okay. And then if I remember right, the next planet was asteroid belt's further.
Yeah, Mars is closer to the sun.
That is Mars, dork.
Oh,
the big oversized planet is Mars.
Okay, sorry.
So I drew this all wrong. I'm just trying to. So asteroid belt. Asteroid belt. Asteroid belt. I wasn't really paying attention to the inner planets to know where they were. And then there was like, well, yeah, but they all rotate differently. And then there's Earth. And then there's the asteroid belt. And then Mars was kind of in line at the time. And I remember that, like, Jupiter was over this way and Venus was over that way. So that's kind of how things were. I remember that. It's because, you know, when you're up there, it's really important to keep track of these things because their gravitational pull when you're flying around, especially if you're by yourself, you know. Well, it's just really handy if you want to do this. I'm gonna go really fast. But anyway, so wee! Wait. It's red because red makes you go faster.
Ludicrous speed.
Ludicrous speed. And a butt. Because this is the asteroid belt. But the ship was located in, because I'm like flying around, going, I don't know if I was going to Mars or patrolling or what I was up to. It's just somewhere between here, there was the ship. And it was so lonely and sad and abandoned. And actually, I remember that you could practically picture smelling the smoke because this damn thing. The outside was like all charred up. It was really battle damaged. I mean, it was like with real battle damage. And asteroid. So I was like, dude, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's a ship. And so first I added the Top Guns. I was really proud of the Top Guns because it was a trick to get them apparently. Like I had to like sneak and run. Then I added some bottom guns. And I was like, well, you know, we could probably use a shielding device. And I think I got a lot of my ideas from Star Trek. Now that I'm assessing what I did with this ship. But basically, if I came across another broken, dead ship floating, you know, dead in the asteroid belt, I would bring it home to ship to Mama, so that Mama could be fixed. And the outside was still a little messed up, but then when you're inside one of these types of, you know, Royal Battle Class cruisers, you're going in, and here's the control room, and the control room really isn't that big. It's, you know, it's not like it's a ship, it's a carrier ship for a city. It's just a battle, you know, a little thing that the king would ride in or something, you know. And so you go in and you're in the door, and panel, you know, some stuff and pretty little symbols and framework and everything, and there's like get a word. There's like filament wires, and they're like the ship's veins, like our veins.
Right.
Because she's alive. She's like literally alive. It's not ugly like they portrayed in Farscape though. It's very pretty. It's just when in remote view I tend to go very, very tiny, so it's ugly to me because I see that in the wires, but it's not that bad. You don't see a lot. But you get in there and you see me draw this very console 1,000 times in Akashic.
Yeah.
You know, you have the little console, chair, you've got people over here that go, I'm over here. You got people over here. It's like, I'm over here. And these are actual shielded one-way metal so that you can see through it one way. But on the other side, it's not that way. It's kind of cool. Stars. Don't you know that you are a shooting star? Shooting star. But in the heart of the ship, like you have the ship, and you have obviously your console. I am the king. you know. But and you have like all this in the middle of these ships. It's not up here the way people think it is. It's down here in the heart. There's like this, it's like a round pad. And it's in the middle of this room. It's like that, and it's got like your touchpad and a little thing there to put a finger, you know, or whatever. And you know, it's just a plain little room. There's not much in there. I mean, you've got doors, but that's all it is. And this is where you're going to put your hand if you have the right DNA. Royal class cruisers have to have a very specific bloodline that's actually almost gone. At least so I was told, but they lie to you a lot to make you feel special. So, and you don't put your hand there, believe it or not. You put your left hand here, left hand here, and you put it down, and that gets it listening, and that's all you're going to do. And then you stick your finger in the hole. If you're a wise guy, you'll stick your finger in like this. But I was not a wise guy that day, so I stuck my pointer finger. I stuck in my pointer finger.
I wonder if finger power is activated.
What it does is it pricks your finger. And shit hurts too. And it will, you know, take a blood sample, and then it'll be like, oh, okay. And so then I did that to get it to come alive. I'm actually not sure what the second hole is for.
And so it's going here.
It could be for fingers that don't fit in the top because there's all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
It could be for a tube, you know, because I know that you can stick tubes in to get limited access. But so that's what I did. And I had my ship that I creatively named Ship. Okay, Ship. Her name is Ship because it's accurate. Okay, so one day I'm having a chat with this dude. Okay, and I just was in one of my moods. So I was like, come with me. And I grabbed him. And I grabbed him and remotely grabbed him out because I used to be able to do that. I don't know if I can still do that or not. So I grabbed him out and remote viewed him because he had been talking a lot, okay, about how he was the sole heir of the universe. He was elected to be what he was. What else would he say? That made him sound so special. Do you remember? Because you were there. You were there for some of it.
I was there for a little bit of it, but not all of
But
it.
surely you remember him. I mean, come on.
I barely remember him.
Uh-huh.
I know he used to say he was like Tenchi Blue or something.
Yeah. We can fly, we can fly. And I took him out from Earth. And we went so fast, I didn't even notice the asteroid belt. Okay, it was just to where I had the ship parked. So here's Mars. And over here's Earth, right? And I remember I always had to take this path. Get to ship. It was parked there in perpetual rotation. And that's where we went. And the reason why I took him there is because I was just damn tired of hearing how special he was. I mean, the dick waving, okay? Just no. And so I get him there, and he is standing on the bridge of the ship. And I didn't tell him where I brought him, okay? That's really important. I just said, okay, here you go, and dropped him. And he was like, where did you get this? How did you get it running when you don't have the right DNA and only I can activate it because I am the sole heir to the universe while being the elected high official because I believe in democracy, but I'm a prince. You know? He did!
I know.
Okay? And he's like, where? You know? And he was just in love immediately with Ship. It was like, oh my gosh, Ship. Ship, I love you. Where have you been all my life? So yeah, I had him up there. He's going, what in the world? How did you start it? How did you do this? Don't you know that this is a super uber very special model? Only the super supreme royalty can run this ship.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't remember what else he said.
The DNA to run it.
Yeah, blah 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 blah. You know, special this, special that. All my specialness. And then he started to like mess with my wires.
Yeah. And being disrespectful.
Yeah, which is why I don't take people to see things like Ship often. You know, I mean, I'll take you to the hill. Would you like to go to the hill?
Oh, thank you.
Would you like to have your respect taught to you a little bit? But, and I'm like, don't, you know, don't mess with my property, man. This is mine. And you are like totally dissing me by, you know, by messing with my wires and trying to mess with Ship. And I don't like that. You know, I totally did. I mean, I tried to be nice.
Yeah.
So I grabbed him and I took him away from my ship because that was incredibly rude. My ship, mine. And so that is the story of my ship. The thing about my ship is she was parked here, Mars, which is actually kind of got some green on it and stuff too, if you pay attention. And she was like on this directional orbit. But I tended to keep her here in like a stationary because it was just really important that she was shielded on that side. I remember thinking that she wasn't seen as good there. But then one day she just kind of disappeared and I lost track. And then, you know, you go through these periods where they make you forget. So, she was a female ship, but, you know, it takes alien intervention to grow one. But she was a female ship. And I remember one time I was watching a lecture from the guy with the fingers, Phil Schneider.
Yeah.
And he was like, and they grow these things, and he whipped out one of the crystal rods that's actually used as a power connection conduit inside these ships, and
was it
and Choshu here as a witness. I ducked under the chair. I'm watching this video, expecting this thing he's waving to explode.
You know, being careful with alien technology. What the fuck is that?
Apparently, he didn't feel like it would explode. That's probably why he was waving it out. Maybe he wanted to see who was going to duck under the chair. Because you got to admit, ducking when you're waving it like that, because it was the only one he waved in that lecture. It was the only one he disrespected in that lecture. That would have been a deadpan call.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so it's a good thing I wasn't really active when he was around yet.
Oh, would have been interesting.
No, I don't want, because people don't understand. So yeah, that is the story of Ship. I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out now, despite the fact that I know I haven't that I have confirmation and witnesses, because I started listening to a project interview that just came out Project Camelot interview, and she mentions this ship Minerva that matches ship's profile, the only sentient in our solar system, yada yada yada, and that would explain where she went. So yeah, but she's mine, and there will be a reward of hugs and kisses if you have her return to me. She's stolen property.